Attention, please.
And now, it's Cutter's Rockcast.
Eric from Prevail. So what happened?
About a year ago, we got word, I guess, that things were going to be different, and that there was going to be some changes, and so we finished out the last two tours, the Hailstorm tour that we did, and then the Australian Parkway tour.
Mm-hmm.
And then the top of the year, we were like, all right, well, time to figure out what we're doing. We started to get to work on a new record. We had some songs we started demoing on those last tours, and that was like the first time that we like really took time to write on the road and to flex that muscle, that creative muscle. And then, yeah, once we got home at the top of the year, that was last October. Took a couple weeks off just to reconnect and touch base at home, and then we got to work and spent that whole 6 months after that, October till I think we went and tracked the record and finished it up in February, March, the final touches on it. And yeah, very, very excited to have this record out and for people to hear these new songs. I'm very, very excited about the record. It's yeah, man, it was a challenge learning where to just finding my voice, really just finding my voice for the big choruses and singing stuff. And yeah, the world's got a little taste of it so far, but we got a few more songs left to show, and really excited.
And just so you know, I'm airing this the weekend that record comes out.
Okay.
But so you like, here's the thing, right? Bands go through changes all the time. That happens all the time. But you as a singer, you've been sort of like that screamy guy, and some of the hip hop flavors and things as well. We've talked about that at length, but to add that other element in, how much pressure did you feel? Not what the band put on you, but I know you, Eric. Like, how much pressure did you feel going into that? Going, holy crap, this is me now. Like, I'm the front man of this band. This is what I got to do.
Yeah, I think the last couple records, singing a little bit, doing some harmonies here, and then live having to cover when there was vocal injuries or whatever
Right.
else it may have been. I was kind of Dylan too. We were just kind of forced in that spot where we had to sink or swim and continue on with these shows and figure it out, and just being in that spot and not having any water wings or a life jacket, just jumping in and having to figure it out, I think definitely helped with the confidence going into the record. Like, all right, I've done it. I just need to find my voice, and one, to have the guys behind me, where like I think the first song that we worked on with a big chorus was Rain, and John, Steve, and I came up with the music bed, and we're like humming some melodies over and playing the acoustic over it, and just kind of coming up with a melody, and had some rough idea lyrics going into it, and all right, hop in the booth, let's see what we can do, and to just go in there and belt it, and yeah, I keep saying it, but find my voice and belt for the first time, really belt out a chorus, and knowing that I'm not going to step out and of the booth, and if I hit a sour note or something, that they're going to go, oh, I know that, having them out in the other side of the room, just like, dude, you got this. That part sounded great. I think you can do this. I think you could do that. Having Dylan there, who's a phenomenal singer, to help me with like vowel shapes or just where to project from, on certain parts, was a huge help. But most of all, it was just having the confidence to go in there and know that, like, all right, if I mess up this part or something, it's not gonna be the end of the world. I got these guys that are just patting me on the back and reassuring me that we're gonna figure it out. And it was a challenge, but I'm always up for a challenge.
That's awesome that they had your back like that, and that's key, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't think I could be doing what I'm doing without the guys on my side here.
Absolutely. If people forget, dude, Dylan's a great singer.
He's
Like,
he's incredible, man.
he's an incredible guitar player. I mean, what a talented musician Dylan is, truly. I mean, as a guitar
Absolutely.
player myself, like he's a very, very good guitar player, but an underrated singer.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been covering and backing up and singing harmonies and singing parts ever since day one, and he's been crucial to the live stuff as everyone else has their role. But he's been very crucial for the live aspect, and now even here helping me find my voice. He's been it's the reason he's one of my good friends. He's got my back.
Violent Nature is the name of the new I Prevail album. I didn't know what to expect when I hit play on it. So I hit play on it, and to hear, that first song, um, and it be sort of this introspectful, I don't know how to explain it really. It's this like you have this instrumental piece. It's slower the way it starts off, and it's very um industrial feeling. The whole album is very industrial feeling, but to hear you immediately start singing instead of, I'm like, all right, this is Eric I Prevail. We're gonna get a nasty ass breakdown right away. No, we didn't. I mean, really,
Yeah.
until NWO hits, you don't really get that nastiness. Um, what did you guys want to do it that way specifically in the tracking of the album?
What's funny about that first song, Synthetic Soul, is that we had 10 songs already fleshed out. We kind of had a pretty solid, I think 80% or 70% of the track listing was like nailed down. And it was one of the last weeks we had before we went into the studio to actually final track vocals and drums. But we were like, let's try and take a shot at writing something that's like kind of like an interlude or something fun, like something that we don't really have on the record. Maybe this more industrial, maybe ethereal, something like theatrical or dramatic, right? And once we got working on it, like after day one, I think we looked at each other and we're like, yeah, this can't just be a little interlude. This is turning into something. and and I've said it before, but it's I think you have to know when to listen to the song. And I'm not just saying by press and play. You have to know when to hear what the song is building into and building up. You start it and you get it to you get a little foothold of the song, like where it's going. But then you gotta know when to step back and let the music just kind of guide where it's going. And this was one of those songs that we were just like, all right, what's next? What feels right? What
Mhm.
does it need? And by the time we got it up to like the bridge, and we knew we were going to put some breakdown or something in there, but before we even finished the structure of the song, we were like, this is the opening track, right? Yeah, you think so? I think so too. Yeah, and we actually cut the original intro song and plopped this in there. And once we listened to this song in full and then through the record, it was like, damn, I think this has to be the opening track. It kind of has a taste of what's to come on the record. It is one of the songs, like the more theatrical songs that kind of push the limits of our songwriting to this point. And it kind of gives you a taste, like when you just take the record, press play, whether if you the vinyl record, the CD, you're on Spotify, whatever it is, and you just hit play. It kind of preludes what the rest of the you're going to hear on the record. It's got a little taste of everything on it.
It really does. The industrial flavor of this album, I really enjoy it a lot. That is something, I Prevail has sort of been that band that's been able to go back and forth from super heavy metal and giant metalcore breakdowns and riffs and screamy and hip hop, but to hear the industrial side and even pop, right? But
Hmm.
but to hear the industrial side of I Prevail, like to have almost that Nine Inch Nails flair to it a little bit, and not that it sounds like Nine Inch Nails. It's just like when you're talking about industrial, what do you think of? You think of Nine Inch Nails, you think of Ministry. So, but there is
Right.
some of that on this album. And I enjoy it. I enjoyed it, Eric. I really do.
Thank you. Yeah, that's we've always been a band that's we all have very eclectic tastes. But if you ask anyone in the band like who's the metalhead, they're gonna point at me. So
Yep.
when
Yep.
when the heavy stuff comes, it's like, all right, what are you thinking? Well, let me think.
Give me a
But
blast beat. Let's go.
yeah, but yeah, it's been fun to find what the new flavor we're going to indulge on in the next record is. And it's never been something like we sit down, we're like, all right, we're going to influence the record with this, or we're going to have the main sonic sound, whatever you want to call it, be this. It kind of just, we start putting songs together, and you kind of start getting the vibe of like what we've all been collectively influenced by, and it kind of, you put it through our filters, each of our filters, and that's what I Prevail becomes, and or the record that we work on becomes. And yeah, it's trying to find the balance of what what is the new I Prevail, what makes it fresh, what makes it stand out, but not alienate what I Prevail is. And you know, you got that classic issue with bands. Every artist feels it, like, all right,
Mhm.
got to do something new, but we can't go too far, and touch the sun. You can't get too far away from your roots, but you can't put out the same record over and over. You're just gonna
Well,
either plateau or just fall short.
on that note, Eric, when you put on Trauma, you get this feeling when you listen to it. I'm not going to say the other albums haven't had that, but that album specifically had that. You press play, it's like, oh my God, I'm in for something here, And I
Mhm.
get that same feeling when I pressed play on Violent Nature from I
That's
Prevail, which is out now. Eric, dude, it's always a pleasure. I know you got other of these to do, even though your next one is with a guy who sometimes fills in on this show, but that's okay. Um, have fun with it, dude. And one more time, the name of the card shop if you're ever in the Detroit area.
Yeah, me and my friends opened a card shop called Black Vault Gaming in St. Clair Shores, in between 8 and 9 Mile and Harper. And when I'm not on the road, you can probably catch me up here slinging cardboard and playing games.
I love it, and a Twitch stream as well.
Yeah, yeah, we have events up here, and we've been working on our Twitch stream to have the top tables play on stream. So it's
Fantastic.
worldwide, baby.
My wife has been trying to get me to do a D&D round with her, and I just haven't done it yet.
Oh, you gotta do it.
I will. Eric, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for this. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Always great catching up with you, brother.
Cutter's Rockcast.
Don't forget to tune in exactly